made the world or the world made itself. Now, there's a few out there on the lunatic fringe who will say, well, no, we're not really here at all. We just think we're here. Okay, you can forget about them, all right? We are here. Therefore, either somebody made the world or the world made itself. Now, those who believe that the world made itself because they're running from the Creator for some reason, they think we all got here from a Big Bang. How many have ever heard of the Big Bang Theory before? Okay? The Big Bang Theory says 20 billion years ago, all the dust and dirt in the universe was all drawn together into this one little bitty tiny dot, smaller than a period on a page. Ooh, that's crowded, yeah. And it was spinning. It spun faster and faster. This is straight from the textbooks now. It spun faster and faster and faster. Finally, it exploded out into space. The Big Bang. And the pieces that flew off became the galaxies, the sun, the moon, the stars, all that kind of stuff. Wait a second. If you believe in the Big Bang, you're already bypassing a couple of fundamental questions, like where did the matter come from? If you believe 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang, then I would like to know what exploded and where did it come from? You're also already bypassing the question of where did the energy come from? You don't get energy for nothing. Where did the energy come from? Who made the dirt to do the exploding, and who bought the gas to run this machine, and who squished it and spun it and exploded it? Where did the energy come from? And what about the laws? The universe is governed by laws. We have gravity, centrifugal force, inertia, basic laws of the universe. Who made the laws that govern our universe? Evolution doesn't answer any of those questions. Therefore, it is not scientific. It's a faith. It's a religion. And you're welcome to believe in it. But don't call it science, and don't use my tax dollars to push it off on these unsuspecting kids as if it is a fact. It is not a fact. It certainly is not. And there's lots of things about the Big Bang we could show you that are simply not scientific. There's no way to prove it's scientific. It goes against some of the known laws of science, too, by the way. The second law of thermodynamics tells us that everything tends toward disorder. Everything tends toward disorder. In other words, if you leave something alone for a while, it will get worse, not better. Nothing gets better left to itself. Everything gets worse. Take a look at your hairdo when you wake up in the morning. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing gets better left to itself. Things turn toward chaos in time. But the theory of evolution says, oh no, boys and girls, things are getting better. We're improving. Here it is, straight from the textbooks. Holt Reinhardt Winston, 1989, Earth Science. It's got a picture of a starfish. In the text to the side, it says, 3.4 billion years old. The remains of the early ancestors of modern human beings. Wait a minute. Was your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa a starfish? No, neither was mine. But you tell the kids, oh yeah, boys and girls, that's a fact, 3.4 billion years old. Now just a minute, this world's not billions of years old, and your grandpa was not a starfish. But please do not laugh at this next picture, okay? This next picture I'm about to show you is a picture of my brother when he first wakes up in the morning after his first cup of coffee. He'll be on the left. Now please do not laugh, he cannot help it. Right here. A tarsier, a little bitty monkey about yay long. This is straight from the public school textbook, and it says, 30 million years ago, these animals evolved. Oh. Then it says, they are ancestral to both humans and modern apes. Ancestors to humans? A tarsier? Grandpa? What big eyes you have, Grandpa. The better to see you with, my boy. Look, they don't seem to be able to figure it out. In 1957, Russia launched the first satellite. They beat us in the space race. Sputnik went up. Americans panicked and said, oh, wow, we have got to catch up with the Russians in the space race. So Americans began rewriting all of the science textbooks in the late 50s. Matter of fact, the government took over. There was government funding to write science textbooks in the late 50s. If you get the textbooks from the 50s, I got the charts down here by my feet, showing how many words in the books in 1950 talked about evolution. Only 2,000 words. By 1960-something, it was up to 30,000 words talking about evolution. They said, wow, we got to teach evolution because the Russians teach evolution in their science, and so we got to catch our American science up. And in the early 60s and late 50s, there was a real movement to rewrite all science curriculum in America to include evolution as the unifying theme of science. And we have seen a dramatic decline in SAT scores since the 60s, and a dramatic rise in lots of problems. For instance, sexually transmitted diseases have skyrocketed among teenagers since we took the moral standards out of our school. Divorce rates in this country have skyrocketed since the early 60s, when America became a pagan nation. Violent crime offenses have gone up 544%. Things are skyrocketing. Unwed birth rates for girls 10 to 14 have gone up over 500% since the early 60s. SAT scores have plummeted. Folks, we got a problem. I think part of the problem is that stupid theory of evolution is included in the books as if it is a fact, and it's nothing but a pagan religion that destroys real science. And we'll take questions, all the questions you want here in a few minutes, but let me share with you what the creationists believe. I believe the world is only a few thousand years old. It is not millions and billions of years old. And it is easy to demonstrate that. If you let's talk about the age of the earth. How old is this world anyway? You're going to be told it is billions and billions of years old. That's what the textbook says. Millions of years ago. Now, just a second. There is no way to prove the earth is billions of years old, and there are lots of ways to prove it is not billions of years old. But the reason time is so important to the theory of evolution is because that's the only way to justify this idea that evolution might have happened. If the world's only 6,000 or 7,000 years old, then the whole theory is useless. They somehow think that time will fix the problem. I'm here to say, no, time would not fix the problem. You say, Mr. Hovind, you mean the earth is not millions of years old? No, it is not. Well, everybody believes it is. Well, now hold it just a minute. First place, no, not everybody believes it is. Over half of the U.S. population believes the world is less than 10,000 years old. Over half. 30% of the biology teachers in public high schools believe the world is less than 10,000 years old and was instantly created in the recent past. So, no, not everybody believes the world is billions of years old. Secondly, even if everybody did believe it, that wouldn't make it true. You know, a lot of folks thought the world was flat at one time. That did not flatten it out, right? They used to teach big rocks fall faster than little rocks. No, they don't. Everything falls the same speed. You know, in 1799, President George Washington got sick. He was out riding his horse in the rain. He got the flu. They called in the best doctors in America. The doctors came. They looked at the president. They said, oh, the president's sick. That'll be $50, please. You know how they do it. And they said, we need to call the barber right away. Call the barber. I said, call the barber? Why? The president's sick. Yes, see, back in those days, the barber was the guy with the razor. And he would come, if somebody was sick, he would cut their wrist and drain some blood out. They called the barber in to bleed George Washington, 1799. They took blood out of his left arm, and then to make sure he wasn't out of balance, they took the blood out of the right arm also. You got to keep him balanced, you know. The president got worse. They said, oh, the president's getting worse. Hurry, we got to take out some more blood. So they took out some more blood, out of both sides, of course. You got to balance them out. The president got worse. And they said, oh, he's standing at death's door. Hurry, we've got to pull him through. We've got to take out some more blood. So they drained him the third time. Guess what happened after they bled him the third time? He died. And the doctor said, well, we did the best we knew to do. And they sure did. They killed him. Now, these doctors that killed George Washington were very sincere. They were extremely intelligent. They were highly trained. And they were dead wrong in what they believed. We've got textbook writers that are very sincere. I don't question that. They're very intelligent, real smart. I don't argue with that. But if they're telling you the world's billions of years old, they're wrong. This world is not billions of years old. It cannot be, as we shall see. It is so easy to demonstrate and prove this world simply cannot be billions of years old. For instance, the population of the earth is an interesting fact. Right now in the world, there are 5.5 billion people. That's a lot. But the world is not overcrowded, okay? Did you know the whole world could go to stand up in Jacksonville, Florida, city limits? Everybody in the world could fit in that one city. People say, oh, the world's overcrowded. Have you been to Kansas lately? No, the world is not overcrowded, okay? That's a bunch of baloney. They're trying to justify abortion.